Hi, and welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Ali Navarro, nutrition chef with Green Our Planet, and today we're gonna make something sweet and refreshing, and that is slushies. So I'm gonna be showing you how to make 3 different slushies today, so stay tuned and learn how to make this. Our first ingredient will be 1 cup of chopped up watermelon. Our watermelon is gonna be a good source of vitamin C, so it's gonna be really good for your immune system and help you from getting sick. It's also very hydrating, so if you've never had watermelon, go ahead and give it a try. Super refreshing, especially when it's really warm. This is a perfect snack to go to. So it's made up of 92% water. That's really insane to think about that for watermelon. If you've never seen this out growing in a garden, I have a little mini one here, but usually they could get up to about maybe this size or even bigger. It all depends on the type of watermelon you are growing. I'm gonna go ahead and toss my watermelon into my blender cup, so make sure you have a blender cup on hand. I'm gonna go ahead and toss this in there. All right, so we have our watermelon here, so let's move on to our next ingredient. Our second ingredient will be half a lime. Our lime, another good source of vitamin C. I'm gonna go ahead and cut my lime in half. Kind of rolled it out a little bit just to get some more juice out of our lime. I'm gonna go ahead and just cut this. And you can go ahead and just squeeze straight into your blender cup, or you can go ahead and use your little juicer here. And this is a very simple slushy recipe. Just wanted to do it with fruits and keep it nice and healthy for you, because I know we all like slushies and sometimes they contain a lot of sugar. So why not just get natural sugars from our fruits? Go ahead and just toss our lime juice. And if you would like more lime, go ahead and add more lime into your slushie. Now let's move on to our next ingredient. Our third ingredient will be 1 to 2 mint leaves. For our mint leaves, I'm gonna go ahead and just take off the leaves from the stem. I already rinsed my mint ahead of time. And if you did not know this, mint is considered an herb, so it's used a lot for flavoring your dishes. And right here, I wanted to add some flavor into my slushie. It smells really good, and it's known to be calming and soothing for your stomach. I wanted to include this. Depending how minty you would like, go ahead and add as many leaves. So I'm adding 2 leaves into mine. So now that we have our mint leaves in there, let's move on to the next ingredient. Our fourth ingredient will be 1/4 cup of coconut water. I decided to go with coconut water for my slushie just because I wanted more of the flavors to come out from my fruit right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my 1/4 cup measuring cup and go ahead and pour this in here. Our coconut water gonna be very hydrating, contains electrolytes, so just like our watermelon, very hydrating. So you can see this is gonna be a good hydrating slushie. And I'm just starting with 1/4 cup because I don't want to add too much liquid in here since we want a real thick slushy consistency. So let's move on to our next ingredient. Our last 2 ingredients for our slushie will be honey and ice. So the honey is going to be optional depending if you think your watermelon is nice and sweet. Since my watermelon is not super sweet yet, I want to add a little bit of honey. So I'm just going to do about 1 squirt. And then, how I said we wanted a thick consistency for our slushies, so you could add your ice. You could start with a little bit and then keep adding some more if you would like to make it thicker if it's still a little watery. I'm going to go ahead and put my lid on. Twist it on. I'll go ahead and put this on my blender and we'll start blending this up and make sure it's thick enough for us. So as you can see, mine's very liquidy still. And you can have it like this, or you can add some more ice. So I have a couple more ice cubes I'm just gonna toss into there. Oops, splashing everywhere. I'm just gonna blend it one more time, and that will be the consistency of our slushie. All right. So you can keep blending it, add more ice if you would like. Go ahead and just toss mine in. And here we have our watermelon breeze slushie. Now that we finished our first slushie, we're gonna move on to our second slushie, and that is a berry lime slushie. Our first ingredient for our berry lime slushie is gonna be 1 cup of strawberries. Our strawberries also gonna be a good source of vitamin C and antioxidants. Antioxidants are like superheroes in our body. They go and protect the bad stuff coming in, so it's gonna protect our bodies from free radicals. I'm gonna go ahead and set my whole strawberries into my blender. You do not have to chop them up since the blender will be chopping it up. And I went ahead and took off the stems from mine. Just make sure to remove those before setting them in. Very sweet strawberries. And if you've never seen these grow in a garden, very cool and very sweet when you get to eat them straight from your garden. So I encourage you to try to grow some, or if you see any growing, go and pick some from a strawberry patch. So, all right, now that I have my strawberries in there, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my next ingredient. Our second ingredient will be half a lime. Once again, like our first slushie, I already kind of rolled this lime out to get some juice. I'm gonna go ahead and just juice it on my juicer again, twist it, get as much juice as I can. Go ahead and pour my juice in here. And you can add more juice, lime juice, if you would like to make it more limey. Let's move on to our next ingredient. Our third ingredient will be 1/4 cup of coconut water. Just a reminder, if you do not remember, our coconut water is going to contain electrolytes, so it's going to be very hydrating. And that's what we would like in our drink. Since when we consume a lot of sugar, it's going to kind of dehydrate us, especially during the warmer weather. And we want to stay as hydrated as possible. So I did 1/4 cup, but once again, once we start blending, you could add more if you would like later on. So let's move on to our next ingredients. Our last 2 ingredients, honey once again, and ice. So the honey is gonna be optional. I think I'm gonna put honey in all of my slushies today. So just put a little bit in there, and then I'll start putting my ice cubes. Remember, the more ice you put, the thicker the consistency. So let's see if these fit in my blender. I'm gonna go ahead and just start blending away. All right, I think I like the consistency of this one. A little liquidy, but you could go ahead and add more. I do have some more ice here, so I think I'm gonna add the rest of my ice so I could set it in my cup. It smells so good. Put this one more time. All right, and we have it there. Nice and bright and colorful. So pretty. I can't wait to try these. I like the consistency. And there we have our berry lime slushie. Now for our third and final slushie, I'm going to be making a summertime peach slushie. Our first ingredient I'll be putting into this slushie will be 1/2 cup of peaches. Our peaches is going to be a good source of vitamin A, which is going to be really good for your eye vision, and it's going to be another good source of vitamin C and antioxidants. And they do grow in trees, so if you're out in Las Vegas schools, you can see these growing during the summertime. So let's move on to our next ingredient. Our second ingredient will be 1/2 cup of strawberries. Our strawberries, once again, gonna be a good source of vitamin C and antioxidants. And if you notice, I'm using a bit less for this recipe right here, just because I have half peaches and I wanted to do the same amount in strawberries. So now that I have my 2 main ingredients, let's move on to our next ingredient. For our liquid, we'll be using 1/4 cup of coconut water. Okay, so I'm just gonna measure this out once again. And if you're feeling very creative, go ahead and use any liquid that you have in your fridge. Make it fun. It's really all up to you what you would like to put into here. But I just really like coconut water. So, all right, we have our liquid in, so let's move on to our next ingredients. Our final 2 ingredients, honey and ice. I'm gonna go ahead and just drizzle a little bit of honey for this one, just like that. We'll go ahead and put our ice, all of our ice, and our lid, set this over, and we'll start blending away. Here it is. If you notice, they're all very similar colors. If you want to make them different colors, go ahead and add any ingredients that you would like. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in there. Looks so refreshing. And here is our summertime peach slushie. And here we have our watermelon breeze slushie, berry lime slushie, and summertime peach slushie. I hope you enjoy watching me create all these 3 simple recipes right in front of me, and hopefully it encourages you to make these at home just because they contain natural sugars and not added sugars here. So now that you watch me create this, I challenge you to do the same. But don't forget, be creative, tag us on social media, and I'll see you next time.